Oceans like we used to do.
The Meg is a movie about a megalodon shark that stars Jason Statham, and this movie is directed by Jon Turtetaub. This movie tells the story of Jason Statham, who plays his character as Jonas Taylor, who went on a deep-sea exploration after discovering something and decides to quit after finding something very big. 5 years later, he decided to go back and find something that was under the sea, only to find out that he found a megalodon shark who has been unleashed from the sea and is about to eat any person who comes nearby. And now it's up to Jason Statham's character, Jonas Taylor, and a deep-sea exploration sea to fight back the shark known as the megalodon shark. Now I understand this movie is called the Meg because megalodon shark, so there's this upcoming shark movie that comes out and I was like, I don't know if I would watch this movie, and maybe my friend was interested with this movie. So here's the thing, actually, I know that movie came out on Wednesday and I was very sick at that time, and then it was my friend's birthday and they were having this birthday party and I was like, do you want to watch this movie? And I was like, yeah, we'll think about it, and something was happening, so it was really unexpected. I didn't expect that we were gonna have a birthday party not just at his house, but I had to go and the movie theater with him alongside with his friends, and then we watched the Meg together. I was actually sitting far from him. I went to the cinema where I first watched Rampage. Now here's the thing, there are movies that he wanted to watch and I would do that for him. He's a big fan of monsters and his birthday was like back on August 8th, and I really appreciate it. He's my friend. And however, I'm going to tell you this, thanks to him, my reaction on Godzilla King of the Monsters reached 1000k because he's a Godzilla fan, so I would do anything for him. And now I did watch some movies which I didn't get to review because I was busy, but here are the movies that I did review for him when I was with him at school. Pacific Rim Uprising, it's downfalling. Rampage is just Rampage. And then there's the Meg, which I really want to share my thoughts to him, but I have to do it here because now I'm finally sharing my thoughts to you guys about what I thought about the movie. Now here's the thing, it's a shark movie. What do you get in a shark movie? You need a big shark because sharks are cool and it needs to be very scary and menacing. And then you have Jason Statham, you have the main lead because he's awesome. We need to have a protagonist who's at least strong enough to fight against a shark. And then we also need to have the side characters, like for example the scientists who are trying to find a way to stop the shark, who's trying to analyze the shark. And then some just additional characters who are just basically there for some reason. Now here's the thing about the Meg. It's a shark movie that it happens to have lots of characters who are just, well, characters. Jason Statham is there. You get scientists who are Chinese people, and you also get additional crew to the member who are just, they just happen to be there. I mean, in terms of the movie, it takes place in Asia, and I was actually proud of it because first of all, I get why there's Chinese characters because they're basically, it takes place somewhere around my continent in China. So basically, I'm not Chinese actually. This movie just happens to take place in China where they basically fight against a megalodon. Now from the tone of the movie, the aspect of the movie is very dark. Now it's a shark movie. It's basically something you're expecting for something menacing. You're expecting from something scary to happen. And while that intense element was actually just there, it just happens to be there. There are lots of scenes that are mostly just like jump scares that is actually a cliche where basically a shark's gonna come up from their back and it's just happening. I basically watched the movie. I was very speechless when I watched the movie because I wanted to be quiet watching this movie. Until then I had to move forward to the screen and I was like, yeah, I think this movie was actually good. There's some parts of the movie that I really enjoy, but there's some parts of the movie that, yeah, I'm just okay with this movie. There are many predictable things, like when shark from the back, basically this guy's just standing there, basically yelling for no reason, and then suddenly a shark just come out from the back and then just attacks him and eats him. That's basically also predictable, and it basically happens, like there's something in the sea and you don't know what it is, and then the shark just pop out. That's actually the thing because it's a shark movie, so you wanted the shark to be as scary as possible. And in terms of a shark movie, it's more of basically the deep sea exploration, finding the shark. Now if you see this poster over here, you've seen from the trailer, the shark basically comes to the beach and attacks everyone. That is the most exciting part of the movie, but it didn't last long because the entire part of the movie is basically just the deep sea exploration, trying to figure out how to fight this monster, and spending time on top of the sea, on a boat, trying to fight the megalodon shark because it's very big. They just try to at least bait him using what they can do. They try to swim, they try to bait him, they try to at least hang onto a cage so that the shark can come over, and then they try to at least put a tracker on the shark so that they can track the shark. There are lots of things that I would really want to say. I mean, it's a shark movie. The characters are not that stupid. Sometimes they're very useful, sometimes they're just humor. There are really humors in this movie. From the trailer you get the humors, but the humor didn't turn out there well. There are some parts of the scene where the humor humor just happens to be there. The movie had some dark times in this movie, but they put out a humor at a time that was not really that time. It was not the perfect time to put on the humor. So they just got attacked by a shark, and this guy just starts arguing like, why is this like that? And then the whole the people next to me just start laughing because they see it as a humor. My friend that I told you had his birthday, he come tapping me say, hey, this is our English teacher, and I was like, I couldn't relate. I would be pissed at myself if I would relate. I mean, it's a black guy who's basically like, why would there be two sharks? There's actually a smaller shark that turned out to be a bigger shark because there's a megalodon shark. And what were they attacked by? Now, there are many spoilers in this movie. I really laughed throughout the movie. Like, some scenes that were going to happen, I already know it's going to happen. There are lots of plot twists in this movie. Like some small scenes that just turn out to be a plot twist. You already know that it's going to happen, but turns out that the director gave a second chance for you to rethink that it's not going to happen. Instead, they just give you a chance. For example, this guy is gonna be attacked, he's gonna be eaten by the shark, and then suddenly he decided that the shark was not eating him because, you know, you feel ashamed. It really happened in the movie. The guy was going to get killed, but he didn't get killed at all. There's a scene where basically this boy was like, I want to play the beach, Mom, I want to play the beach. Okay, fine, you can play in the beach. And then suddenly the boy was just at the beach, he was basically on the float, and then suddenly, you know, the shark is coming, and then the boy basically asked for help for her mom. He just yelled because she couldn't swim as fast as possible because she's afraid that the shark is coming. And then the shark was being lured by something else, and that boy's life was saved from the shark. The director gives a second chance to rethink. So basically gives us a moment to think whether the scene is going to happen, whether it's not. There's also this time where basically this guy is on the sea the whole time, and then it makes us think, what is the shark gonna come? And then you just stop there for a moment and think that that guy is gonna be fine. But no, he's not gonna be fine. He then gets eaten by the shark. So he predicts that which one should be eaten by the shark, which one does not get to be eaten by the shark. I'm sorry I'm pull out a little bit of a spoiler, but this movie is just, well, I got nothing about this movie. I mean, in terms of characters, there are some great characters for Jason Statham, John Taylor. Yeah, he's the guy, he's the protagonist of the character because he's the brave guy. You also got the Chinese scientist, as I mentioned, and also that Chinese scientist also has a child. And also you get these additional characters, like I said, that were actually just there for no reason. Now, the death scene is there to me. The death scene, you don't feel ashamed by the death scene. It's very guilty. There are also some bad acting for some of the scientists, like I said, but for the death scene, it doesn't feel like, you don't feel bad for the bad scene. Like, it's a shark movie. The shark just eats the people because he's the predator. It's basically how nature works. A shark eats a meat because it's carnivore. And then the ending, how the shark dies, it's just, yeah, they just happen to be like that. The ending just happened to be like that. I just stand up in the theater when the credits roll, and then suddenly I talked about the guy next to him, because that guy next to me is basically, they basically talk stuff like predicting things that might happen in the movie. And then I asked that guy, hey, what do you think about the movie? He was like, it's just that normal kid. And what do I think about the movie? Well, I'm gonna say this, but The Meg is actually a pretty solid time for a Megalodon movie. I'm trying to say that this movie is just okay, but however, I'm gonna give a little bit of rating because there was a scene where they mentioned my country, and I'm not gonna say what my country is because when they mentioned my country, the people next to me was like, oh my god, they just mentioned our country. Did they just say our country? Well, I'm not gonna say what my country is. I'm not gonna tell you who I'm from. Maybe I did if I reviewed Beyond Skyline for however, but I'm still excited for Mile 22, that's for sure. So yeah, that was my review on The Meg. Have you seen it? What do you think of the movie? Well, it's basically better than watching Slenderman, because back in my days I used to play Slenderman, and until now I still kind of play it. And then there's the movie, which I don't think I'm going to watch it. Yep, my friend kind of agrees with me that no one's going to watch this movie. So in the end we did watch The Meg. We did have a fun time with this movie. I was very speechless watching this movie, but in the end I got outside. I was like, well, we had a fun time watching The Meg with my friends. I had a fun time watching with them. And basically, I know it's basically I'm in high school, but I'm going to have a busy time in high school. So basically, I'll keep up to date for videos. Maybe I may do my review on Mile 22 if I get to see that movie. But yeah, that was my review on The Meg. Here's the outro. That is all for this video. If you do enjoy this video, give it a like. That would be very helpful. And in the description, you'll find the link so you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Google+. I appreciate you guys for watching this, and I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.